Very good morning, students. So we are doing the topic that extraction of aluminium, and the part that we already did is the extraction of aluminium. That is, symbol of aluminium is Al, atomic mass is 27, atomic number is 13, electronic configuration is 283, and the color is silvery white metal. That we already did in the previous lecture. So this is the grinding and crushing is the first step for the aluminium extraction, and we will get the bauxite which further dissolves and leaving behind insoluble impurities, that is called as red mud, and that red mud will contain the ferric oxide and sand with it. Okay, that we already did. And the first process for the extraction of aluminium is the Bayer's process, and that Bayer's process is results into a product that is called as alumina. And alumina is free from the impurities, but it is present in its oxide form, that is with the oxygen atom. So from this oxygen atom we want to remove that oxygen completely, and we want our pure metal aluminium. So to get the pure metal aluminium, we are doing its electrolytic refining, and we are doing its refining, and we say that removal of oxygen atom is the process of reduction. So we are removing the oxygen atom from the alumina, and that process is known as reduction of the substance. Okay, now for the reduction of the process, we need another process that is called as Hall-Heroult process. Okay, we are using this process. In this process, there are a type of substances we are using, that there is an electrolytic cell and a electrolytic tank. That the tank you are seeing here. Here is a diagram for the electrolytic cell. In this electrolytic cell, there is a rectangular tank, as you see in the diagram. There is a rectangular iron tank with sloping bottoms. That is the sloping bottom, so that you can collect the outlet for aluminium metal. That molten aluminium metal you are collecting from this portion, that portion you are collecting, right? And the sloping bottom of the tank facilitates the removal of the molten aluminium. And yes, from this part you are collecting the aluminium, that molten aluminium present. This is the molten aluminium written here. So this tank is prepared from the iron, completely iron, and in between the electrolytic cell we have anode, which is of the carbon part. That is a allotrope of carbon called as graphite that made the anode part. This is the anode part, and that anode part further is attached with a battery as well as a bulb. After this further proceeding, I will tell you what is the use for that bulb and the battery. They are providing the voltage, some voltage to start the reaction at the anode and the cathode part. Now in this molten state, there is a electrolyte present, and that electrolytic part with this molten alumina, they will contain cryolite and fluorospar. They will contain cryolite and fluorospar. This is the fluorospar CaF2, and there is a presence of cryolite, and that cryolite is Na3Al(F6), and the percentage of pure alumina, fluorospars, and the cryolite is pure alumina is 20%, fluorospar is also 20%, but the cryolite is 60% present in the molten state, and the temperature required to start the reaction is 950 degrees Celsius. It is the temperature requirement to proceed the reaction. And a low voltage is used to avoid the decompositions of the molten cryolite. If you use a very high amount of voltage, then your Na3Al(F6), this cryolite, will be dissociated into its particular ions, that is sodium positive, Al3 positive, and F negative. Okay, so we are using a voltage of 5 to 6 volt only for proceeding this reaction, because if the voltage is very high, then this cryolite will dissolve to its constituent ion. It will get in its constituent ion, right? Now further is the reactions present with the cryolite. The reaction will go as like this: sodium aluminium fluorine metal will provide you sodium, 3 sodium positive ions, Al3 positive, and 6 F negative ions, right? Fluorospar is also converted into its constituents ions like the calcium 2 positive, F2, F negative, etc. Alumina is also converted into its constituents ion, that is Al3 positive and 3O2 negative. Now you see there, they are converted into their ionic species. All the molecular compounds are converted into their ionic species, and you have certain positive and negative ions. Now if we talk about the positive ions, then sodium positive, aluminium positive, calcium 2 positive, aluminium 3 positive again. So those we have the positive ions. And what about the negative ions? You only have two types of negative ions. One is the F negative and second is the O2 negative. So they are the negative ions present in the reaction. So aluminium being the lower in the electrochemical series, if we talk about the electrochemical series, that electrochemical series is not in the part of your syllabus now. Right now it is not in your syllabus, but we talk about this in the electrolysis chapter again. When we are doing again this chapter electrolysis, somehow we talk about this. Okay, so aluminium is being lower in the electrochemical series and preferentially discharged at the cathode only. If we talk about the reactions occur at the cathode part and the anode part, then we know this thing that aluminium is discharging at the cathode part. At the cathode part, when aluminium 3 positive is getting 3 electrons and it will convert into the aluminium metal, and that aluminium metal is present in the molten state, in the liquid state, right? And the thick rod of the graphite, anode part is the graphite part. That graphite carbon rod, they all are act as the anode part. They are our anode parts. Okay, this graphite rod is act as our anode part, that it is a anode part of you, right? Okay, I hope this is clear to you all, which is a anode and which is the cathode part here. So this part is called as anode part. And at the anode, the rod carbon, we are getting carbon atoms as the rod we are using of carbon, that is graphite material. So oxygen O2 negative ions which are coming from the alumina part, they combine with carbon atom and getting converted to CO, that is carbon monoxide, and 2 electrons are releasing from this side. Okay, now again this carbon part, when combining with 2 oxygen atoms, then it will convert to carbon dioxide gas, and there are removal of 4 electron there. Okay, there is a removal of 4 electron there. Now if we see the diagram again, you see this thing, these are the graphite rods, the rods here present, these rods, this rods are the graphite rods and the carbon rods, and they act as anode part. These thick rods act as an anode part. They are, this carbon rod is act as anode part. And if we talk about the cathode part, then the lining on this iron tank, this iron tank lining, this carbon lining on the iron tank will act as a cathode. This will act as a cathode. And you know this thing that at the cathode, at this lining portion only, the aluminium metal get converted to the aluminium, molten aluminium. That aluminium 3 positive ions will convert to the aluminium metal, and we are getting a molten state metal at this portion only. Here in this portion, at the downwards portion, we are getting the molten aluminium metal. Okay, write this thing. And after getting this molten aluminium metal, the overall reaction between these molecules is as that there is a presence of alumina, and that alumina is reduced with the carbon, and that carbon will reduce that alumina to aluminium metal, and there is a production of CO2 molecules, that the CO2 molecules are produced here, right? Clear this thing. Now moving to the next part, it says that please do clear all the anode time to time and replace the anode part time to time as it gets oxidized by the oxygen evolved at the anode part, because there is a evolution of an oxygen element, oxygen gas at the anode part. That oxygen will oxidize on the carbon surface. So it is very it become very necessary to remove that anode time to time, okay, and to clean them. Now further he is saying that when the supply of alumina decreases, you said that all the aluminium metal we get, it means the supply is decreases, then the voltage present between this circuit becomes very high, and that voltage is changed to 50 to 60 volt. That voltage will change to 50 to 60 volt, and if that voltage will change to shift to 50 to 60 volt, then how you comes to know that the voltage is shifting now? There is a bulb present in this diagram. You see this, there is a bulb present, and that bulb will glow. and that bulb will fastly start glowing, and after that we comes to know that there is a decrease of the substance alumina, because from this alumina we are getting the aluminium metal, as all the alumina converted to the aluminium metal, so that the voltage of that circuit will changes to 50 to 60 volt. In the starting, the voltage we take is 5 to 6 volt, and now it is converted to 50 to 60 volt, and so that that bulb will fastly glow with a with very glowing, right? So we comes to know that thing, that there is a decrease of alumina, so we need to add more alumina to the reaction. So we are adding more alumina to the reaction part now. Okay, so after this reaction, or after this extraction of aluminium, we are getting a very high and pure amount of alumina, that is 99.8% pure. That alumina is 99.8% pure you get. Okay, understand this thing, that is a very pure aluminium metal you are getting. Further, there is some uses of the cryolite, and some use of the fluorospores, and some use of the that provided coke we are using, or the rest of the things we are using. The very first thing is that what is the use of this cryolite? That cryolite, that is Na3AlF6 we are using, is this substance that we used to lower the fusion temperature, because if we are not using this cryolite substance, then the temperature for the fusion of alumina is very high, and that temperature be 2050 degrees Celsius. So we want to decrease that temperature, because it becomes very hard to handle that a high temperature. So we want to decrease that temperature, and after using this cryolite as a mixture substance, the temperature will reduce to 950 degrees Celsius. So the conductivity of the substance become enhances, right? Now, in the case of fluorospores, that is CaF2, we are using it. It acts as a solvent for the electrolytic mixture. The first thing is that this fluorospore will act as a solvent for the electrolytic mixture, and second thing that it increases the conductivity of pure alumina, as because it is a non-conductor. It itself is a non-conductor, and it increases the cryolite conductivity, that it become more conductive in this part. Okay, understand this thing. And alumina we are using because from this alumina we are getting our pure metal, and that alumina we get from the refining of that way. Alumina we are getting from the Bayer's process, that is the clear cut, that is the alumina we are getting from our this process. This is the process, and the end product of the Bayer process is the alumina. So in the case of extraction of aluminium, both the process occurs simultaneously or one after the another. That first doing is the extraction of aluminium metal in the Bayer's process, and the second process you are doing is the Hall-Herold's process. Both the process you are using simultaneously, because in the Bayer's process what you have done, the thing is that in the Bayer's process only and only the alumina we are getting. It means we are removing the rest of the impurities from the aluminium metal extract or the aluminium metal ore, and after this process we are getting another reaction, that is the Hall-Herold's process. In that process we are reducing that alumina material, that is Al2O3, and we are getting our pure metal, that is aluminium. And in this process the aluminium metal get is 99.8% a pure metal we are getting, right? The pure metal we are getting here, that metal can be used for the many purposes, and many aluminium products we are getting nowadays, that we already did what is the use of the aluminium metal, and that you are getting from this thing. Okay, I hope this process is very much clear to you all, and it is fine with you all. Now after this doing this reaction or this method, please do perform the chapter number exercise number 7C completely. Now you are able to do the exercise number 7C. Do perform the exercise number 7C, and after that next chapter we are taking is the electrolysis. So thank you very much. Please take care of yourself.